You don't really meet Elvis, you actually just look at Elvis, okay?
Through her mother, Whitney Houston met Elvis when she was 6 years old. After years of just doing movies, Elvis finally returned to the concert stage in July 1969 at the New International Hotel in Las Vegas. He put together a large group of musicians, including a rock band, a backup quartet of male gospel singers, a 40-piece orchestra, and a female soul and gospel backup group called the Sweet Inspirations. At the time, Cissy Houston was the lead singer of the group.
We went to work for Elvis Presley for 5 weeks, and it was wonderful. He was wonderful. I loved him. He was such a gentleman. It was nothing like what we might have thought, because it was just wonderful. He was into gospel, so every once in a while when we finished rehearsing with him, we just sing gospel, all of us, and we just had a good time.
So as a young child, what did Whitney Houston really think of Elvis?
I just remember at one point being in a room, and we were all in this room, my mother and the singers, and we, the usually backstage kind of thing, and he just walks in the room with his mink on, with his glasses on. Oh my God. And he just walks in, he says something, and everybody just, you don't say anything, you just look. It was just one of those moments I won't forget as a kid.
Oh my
it wasn't
God.
like, hi, Mr. Elvis, nice to meet you. You didn't do that. You just sat back and just looked at him.
Amazing.
Amazing to look at.
Yeah.
Just amazing.
Wow.
And just to be in his presence was awesome.
Cissy and her group sang backup for Elvis during those electrifying first 4 weeks he performed at the International through the end of August 1969. Even then, rumors still swirled about Elvis.
He would get good money and good pay and it was nice atmosphere, and we didn't go around with him as his friends. We worked for him. So we saw him at work or at rehearsals. People said he was prejudiced. I said, well, I never felt his prejudice. And I don't think he was prejudiced,
Cissy can be heard singing on Presley's infamous live recording of the song, Are You Lonesome Tonight? It was during Cissy's soprano backing part where Elvis started laughing uncontrollably as he changed the lyrics of the song to be about a bald-headed man. See the description below to listen to that recording.
He was so handsome, but he was just as nice, fun. He cracked jokes and all that kind of crap, and you'd be singing and he'd make you laugh and whatnot. So we had a good time.
However, Cissy Houston only sang backup for Elvis during that first concert run in the summer of 1969. Then she left the Sweet Inspirations to stay home with her children and pursue a solo career. In an interview in 2013, Cissy showed Oprah the large gold bracelet that Elvis had given her. Inscribed inside the bracelet was Elvis's nickname for Cissy. He called her Squirrely. See what Cissy said to Oprah in the link in the description below. But what if I told you that the Sweet Inspirations were not Elvis's first choice? Stay tuned to the end of this video to see the other girl group that Elvis considered for his Las Vegas concerts. Meanwhile, Whitney wasn't the only family member that Cissy introduced to Elvis. Cissy also introduced Elvis to her niece, singer Dionne Warwick. Dionne Warwick, whose mother was a sister of Cissy Houston, started having success as a solo artist with several hits in the 1960s. Dionne first met Elvis when she came to visit Cissy during the rehearsal for Presley's Las Vegas show during the summer of 1969.
I was opening at the Sands Hotel, and he was reopening the International Hotel, the Hilton now. And I went to his rehearsal, and I just fell in love with this man. I said, my God, I got to meet him, I got to meet him. And Cissy said, okay, I'll introduce you to him. So I went to the rehearsal, and he was such a nice young man to me.
Quote, Elvis let me know he was a fan of my recordings, and this was a wonderful thing to hear, Dionne wrote in her 2010 memoir. Dionne explained that Elvis helped her out when she started performing in Las Vegas, the same time Elvis was playing there in August 1969.
I told him I was opening at the Sands. He says, yeah, but we were opening the same night. I said, okay. And he says, well, I'm gonna do something for you that I think you might like. I said, okay, wonderful. He put his photograph in every single album in every record store in Las Vegas for me. I sold more albums because he made the announcement from the stage that if you buy a Dionne Warwick recording, you'll have a photograph of me. I could not believe he did that, but he did.
Dion wrote in her autobiography, quote, "Elvis Presley was one of the prettiest, yes, prettiest men I had ever laid eyes on. Pictures and videos of him really didn't do him justice. I once told Elvis he was pretty, and he said, 'How about handsome?' I said, 'No, you're pretty.' He fell out laughing. I will also add that he was one of the nicest men I ever met," unquote. Before contacting the Sweet Inspirations to join his Las Vegas concert lineup, Elvis actually asked another girl group that he had worked with twice before to be his backup singers. That group was called the Blossoms. One of the members of the group, Darlene Love, explained that she first met Elvis when the Blossoms performed in the 1968 comeback special with him. They formed a bond with Elvis when they performed with him as backup singers for the gospel music medley number. Quote, "In those 3 or 4 days that the Blossoms were shooting, I felt like I'd known Elvis all my life," Darlene said. "Pure joy. At lunchtime, he'd get his guitar and we'd sing old gospel songs. In the 68 special, he did those songs real, like you do with your friends," unquote. The following year, Elvis asked the Blossoms to be in his 1969 film, Change of Habit.
I did a movie with Elvis after we did the 1968 comeback special.
Oh, wow.
Then I did a movie with him called Change of Habit.
The Blossoms are most prominent in the film when Elvis sings Rubberneckin'. Darlene revealed that she had another scene in the movie when Elvis examines her at his clinic, but unfortunately, it got cut from the final version. The film was shot during the spring of 1969. After that, Elvis requested that the Blossoms be his backup singers for his new show in Las Vegas, beginning in July 1969. Darlene explained in her 1998 memoir, quote, "Elvis wanted to take us with him to Vegas. We got a call from a man at Elvis's label, RCA, offering us $1,500 a week. The only problem was, we were already making $5,000 a week," Darlene said. After telling her manager to decline the offer, Colonel Parker then called her manager. "But he still didn't offer us more than $1,500, Darlene said. "I told him no. It was probably the hardest decision I ever had to make," unquote. So after the Blossoms turned down the offer, that's when Elvis hired the Sweet Inspirations. Ironically, Darlene, who was featured in the film 20 Feet from Stardom, worked as a backup singer for 10 years for Dionne Warwick. She finally went on her own and is known for the song Christmas, Baby Please Come Home. What did other black musicians think of Elvis? Check out what B.B. King said about Elvis in this video next, and also the article, Elvis Presley and the Black Community, Dispelling the Myths, on the website elvisbiography.net. See the link in the description below. So if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like this video to help this channel grow. Please subscribe to this channel and ring the bell for notifications of future videos, and keep watching more Elvis videos here.